The soft life is important for your health more so than anything. What does loving on you look like? What does having a moment for yourself look like? If your body is always constantly in a heightened state of anxiety or stress, and your cortisol levels are high, and you're not sleeping, and you're always anxious, then you're going to develop these diseases and issues in your body. When you look at it statistically, Black women are the highest numbers when it comes to so many different diseases like fibroids, heart attacks, strokes. Like, not just about living the soft life, it's about taking care of yourself and the self-care that comes in play with all of that. Hey y'all, so I wanted to come on here and post this video because yesterday I posted a video talking about this subject and it hit the entirely wrong audience. Okay, I posted this video talking about how to achieve the soft life as a strong Black woman, and in the comments I was just getting attacked. I figured we could do like a get ready with me type chit chat video, but instead of like makeup and hair, we're gonna be cooking because I'm not a makeup girly, I'm a foodie. So we gonna talk about that, and I'm cooking Easter dinner. So I'm making some green beans and potatoes, some baked beans, and some corn. I'm vegan, so they're bringing the meat, turkey wings, and stuff like that. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sonia Star J. I would love for you to become a part of the family, become a loved one, and hit the subscribe button before you head on out, okay? So I wanted to talk about being a strong Black woman, and trying to achieve what they are calling the soft life. I feel like there are so many different conversations around this same topic about what it means to be a soft woman and what living in your femininity looks like and how you should act and what your behavior should be like. Like, I feel like everybody has their own opinion on that, right? Like, and so for me, once I started hearing about it and learning about it, and I'm just like, like, what is this really? And so I had even said, like, now that I'm more aware of this whole idea of a soft life, I'm like, maybe I want to subscribe to that. You know what I mean? Because that's not something that I ever really seen growing up. Like, I was raised by a single mother and she did her thing, okay? Not my lash coming off. Stop playing. My lash trying to come off in the food, honey. I'm recording. I'm not live.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I would have had your ass.
So, yeah, like I was saying, I was raised by a single mother, okay? I was in foster care. My mom passed when I was 14 years old. I was in foster care from the ages of 14 to 18, and I lived with my grandma at that time, and then I lived with my aunt. And I will say that when I lived with my aunt, that was the first time that I ever really seen like a feminine woman. Like, she would get dressed for work and she would put on her makeup and she would like do all these things that were very, very feminine. She taught me like about feminine hygiene. She taught me about like how to do my makeup and stuff, but I didn't have a lot of time with her because I went on to college. Now, my mom, she was more like a tomboy, I would say, from what I can remember, because I don't remember a whole lot. But one thing I do know is that my mom was a hustler. She worked. She was always at work and she was always getting to a bag. Okay, she was really smart in school, doing all of that, but she passed when I was 14 and she was 30 at the time. My grandma's the same way. Like, they're both Taurus, so like they gonna work and they gonna work their ass off. So all I ever really seen was women working and working hard, even when they had a man in the house. And so you think, as a young woman, and then also I'm the oldest daughter and oldest child of my mother, so I'm the oldest daughter, I'm the only girl, so a lot of responsibility is being put on me because I'm in a single parent household. I'm being raised by a single mom, so you know, it just comes with the territory. And I don't think that we talk about that enough, about like the responsibilities that single parents put on their oldest daughters, you know. And I posted this on TikTok, and a lot of women were in the comments and they were able to relate to that, being the oldest daughter and having to take care of their siblings. And I love my siblings to death, but the only way that I was able to find myself and find life for myself was to leave the entire state to kind of focus on me, you know? Being raised, why am I cutting these potatoes like this, y'all? I'm over here just running my mouth and I'm cutting these potatoes thin, and they're not supposed to be thin. Well, they gonna get ate. So all I've ever known is to hustle, figure some things out, make a bag, get a bag, and figure out how to get to the next step. So I've always been very career driven. I've always been trying to figure out like how to get to the next step, how to improve myself, and how to just be a better person all the way around. And I never really was like in a situation or a predicament where I could just like rest and relax and be soft and, you know, pay attention to myself. Like I was always working. I've always had 2 jobs, or if I didn't have 2 jobs, I was working a job and in school and just like bouncing around trying to figure out how to make things work. And so now, like, I'm finally in a place where it's like I can slow down and kind of just like breathe. Like, it's okay. I can do that physically, but mentally and emotionally, I'm still like this. And so that's where the video came in. It's like I'm trying to tell other women who are in the same position as me, as a strong Black woman, or even if you're not in the same position as me, just having the same mindset and same behaviors and same like upbringing, that it's okay to kind of just like let your guard down. It's not easy. It hasn't been easy for me to kind of like reverse everything that I've learned and everything that I know and unlearn all of those behaviors. Like, single moms, they gotta do what they gotta do. And my mom was a single mom with 1 daughter and 4 boys. Like, she had to be tough. Like, she had to be aggressive, and I learned all of that. And so now it's like, girl, you ain't got to do all that. You ain't got no kids, okay? And another point that I want to make about being a single mom, like, okay, so I told y'all I was raised by my mom until she transitioned. Then I went to live with my grandma. Then I went to live with my aunt. But also, my dad was incarcerated. So if you're a young lady who is being raised in a house that doesn't have a man in it, that is going to significantly play into how you are as a woman. You're not going to have that example in your life of somebody to show you like how to not be a man, because you're going to see like your mother always being the masculine person in the house because there's no man around. My life, like, my dad was incarcerated, but he was like kind of still able to be present because he had a wife, and his wife was at home making sure stuff was done. Like, she got kids too. She got 4 boys and then my older sister. So it's like she was still making boss moves, and I feel like I get a lot of that like entrepreneurial hustle from her, because it wasn't like I was raised in her house, but I was raised around my siblings for like a large portion of my life. And so, like I said, when you are raised in these households where it's predominantly masculine energy, you're going to adopt a lot of those traits. You're going to adopt a lot of those behaviors. And when you have, you know, a lot of cousins and brothers and, you know, a lot of men around you, I feel like you naturally just become more of that. And so I always wanted more like sisters and like, you know, to spend more time with like my female cousins and stuff, but they were younger than me. So I didn't really get the opportunity to be around like a whole lot of girls like I would have wanted to until I got to college. And so I think that as you progress through life, you have to make it a point to be around the type of energy that you want to like absorb, that you want to, you know, kind of identify with and be more like. Because like my mom, she wasn't doing no hair. She wasn't doing no makeup. Like I started learning how to do my own hair when I was 9 years old. My mom was like, go ahead, girl, figure it out. She went to work and I was at home trying to figure out how to do my own hair. And that's why I'm able to do it now. But I honestly think that, you know, as a single woman, as a single mother, you have to learn how to like adopt a lot of these tendencies and habits and switching those daily habits. Because even if you are like a single parent, I watched how, you know, how hard it was for my mom and my stepmom raising the majority of boys, I seen how hard it was for them, on them, you know, and then trying to raise a girl. It was just like, listen, we got all these boys over here. We got this one girl. She gonna get treated just like the boys, you know? And so for parents, keep that in mind too. You gotta keep your kids separate. Don't treat your daughters like your sons. Okay, your daughter's not your son. And my dad used to treat me like his son. Like, it was like so crazy. They would call me Ray. And it's like, I am not a boy. I am a girl. I am a lady, you know? And so not having those environments where your femininity can flourish and you can grow into being yourself. Like, a lot of my feminine energy was suppressed because of the environment that I was in, you know, being around all my brothers, all my cousins, all those boys. It's like, now that I'm away, I can like be myself and I can, you know, live in like my feminine sexuality and all of those things that I wasn't able to do out of fear or nervousness or anxiety of being the youngest girl or the only girl, you know? And so you got to really keep things like that in mind as you move on through this life. But even more so with that too, just as a woman in general, we have to learn to protect ourselves. We have to learn to advocate for ourselves. We have to learn to stand up for ourselves, because a lot of times we're not in situations where people are going to do that for us. And so when you learn things like that, it's like, okay, well, I gotta, you know, I gotta be hard. I gotta be aggressive. I gotta, you know, I gotta let them know that I'm not playing, you know? You get to a point where you are able to just kind of sit back, relax, and breathe. Let yourself do that, you know? And then also I think that it's good to kind of tone it down a little bit, because I think personally that us being like the overly aggressive and overly dependent can kind of turn off and turn away potential, you know, partners that you might want to deal with. If he think that you trying to be the man in a relationship, he gonna be like, oh, okay, you got this. You know what I mean? And so that's one thing that I had to learn when I left home, is I would just like sit back and see like, what's he gonna do? Like, is he going to take care of this? He gonna handle this? Because there are some things that as a woman, I don't feel like I should be doing. There are certain things as a woman I feel like, you know, a man should do. And so you have to know what those things are, know what your boundaries are, speak on them, stand on them, and just let it be what it is, you know? Now, to those men who was in my comments trying to come for me, first of all, I'm engaged, okay? So all of that, oh, it's too late for you. It ain't too late for nothing. It ain't too late for me. It ain't too late for y'all. It can still happen for you if you are still at an age, even if you're still alive, you can change, right? And you can still find somebody who's willing to be with you if that's your goal. You don't, this doesn't even have to be one of those things where it's like, I'm doing this for a man or I'm doing this for a relationship, because that's not why I did it at all. I did it because I was tired of being angry. I was tired of being stressed. I was tired of just like, you know, being rah, 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 rah. That's stressful. That is really, really stressful. And actually, to tie this into like what it is that I'm dealing with, if you are a woman who's dealing with like hormonal issues, I have fibroids, okay? Some of y'all who may be watching this might know that I am on this journey of healing my body from fibroids, and one of the biggest contributors to fibroid growth is stress. If your body is always constantly in a heightened state of anxiety or stress, and your cortisol levels are high and you're not sleeping and you're always anxious like I am, these are things that I'm trying to unlearn, then you're going to develop these diseases and issues in your body. And so we also got to think about that stuff too, because when you look at it statistically, Black women are the highest numbers when it comes to so many different diseases like fibroids, heart attacks, you feel what I'm saying, strokes. Like, we get these things way more than any other race or gender. So we have to keep all of that stuff in mind. It's not just about living the soft life, being like a cloud floating through the water. It's not just about that. It's about, you know, taking care of yourself and the self-care that comes in play with all of that. And so I never really like focused on like self-care, and it's something that I'm really trying to get back into, because it's like I'm always on go. Like I'm always trying to figure out like, all right, how we gonna do this? You know, I'm trying to start a business, I'm trying to write a book, I'm trying to do all the things, and it's like, girl, life is good, you all right, like relax, chill down. And I have to change my mindset, like, you're right, like we good, you know, gotta relax. But also with these fibroids, it's like your hormones be all over the place. And so that's another thing. It's like we have to do what we have to do in order to take care of ourselves, to de-stress, right? To like figure out this life thing for us, not about the outside world, not about relationships and all those things, but for us. What is it? What does loving on you look like? What does having a moment for yourself look like? You know, like, can you take 15-20 minutes to kind of just be to yourself? It's like we have to start prioritizing those things. Become softer for yourself in order to attract all of the other things. When you start emitting more feminine energy for yourself, I feel like life and the universe and God starts to give you more things and more opportunities to be more feminine, more soft, more all of those things, right? But I think that the soft life is important for your health more so than anything. I think that learning to be a softer person can help you in the longevity of your life. And that's really why I'm doing it. Like, I'm learning to ask for help. I'm learning to delegate certain tasks, because like I want to do everything by myself, and I feel like I'm capable of doing everything by myself, right? But we don't have to do everything by ourselves. Like, we can literally ask somebody else, like, hey, can you take care of that? And if they can't take care of it, find somebody else who can take care of it, right? Now, a lot of women will say, you know, like, oh, live a soft life, get you a rich man, and do all that things. That is, you know, another way. But baby, you still gotta make your own coins. Like he could up and wake up one day and be like, okay, I'm not doing this no more. You need to get out and you need to go, you know, pay your own bills. And what you gonna do? You gonna be out on your ass trying to figure it out. So always, you know, still be a boss babe, still, you know, get it done, but just relax. I told you I was over here cooking. Now I usually get fresh green beans and fresh all of those things, but I was not about to be snapping no peas today. Okay. I'm gonna put some water in here and we're about to mix this all up. Now I know some people gonna feel a type of way about this, but this is something that makes me feel, you know, softer and more feminine. You know, oh, women supposed to be in the kitchen. No, not necessarily. I know plenty of men that cook, but I prefer it. I like it. This is something that brings me peace. This is something that helps me to relieve my stress. I show my creativity through my cooking, and I show my love through my food. So this is something that brings me peace. You know, I think that all women should find something that helps them to relax, you know, to thrive in their femininity. There are so many different techniques that you could do to help you to release that, because we carry our, you know, feminine energy and all of that in our womb. And one thing I noticed for myself is that when my, like, I don't know, like if you get into certain things, but you know, with the chakras, they say that your root and sacral chakra are down here in your womb area. And when those are blocked, then your creativity is lagging, your sexuality is lagging, you know, and so you gotta like dance and move and do all those things to like release all of that energy and to be, you know, more feminine and to be more yourself. So another point that I was trying to make in that video is about being the stereotypical angry black woman. And what I meant by that is more so just like how we speak to people. Because I know for me, like when my hormones are like raging and all up and down and I'm anxious and I'm irritable, especially like around my luteal phase and my, you know, my menstrual cycle, I'm not the nicest person, you know, like I'm not somebody that I like to be around, let alone anybody else likes to be around. And so we have to be mindful of things like that when we're communicating with, you know, the people around us, our partners, our children, our friends, our family. Like, we got to think about stuff like that and learn how to communicate better with people. And it's not something that I even like to hear about myself. So I know other women don't want to hear about themselves, but it is something that we should keep in check, because it's not fair for everybody else to have to deal with us because like we're stressed, and so we're, you know, anxious and irritable and lashing out. And you know, a lot of women, Black women especially, don't get the courtesy of being seen in certain ways. Like for me, I actually have an anxiety disorder, but with the Black women, you don't get to have depression, you don't get to have anxiety, you just have an attitude. And that's not fair, right? That's not fair, but it's life. Like people always be like, oh, why you always mad? And it's like, I'm not mad, I'm having a panic attack. I'm anxious right now. Like, but the world in general doesn't understand that. And so our anxiety and the things, all the symptoms that come with that anxiety is seen as anger, it's seen as irritability, it's seen as attacking, it's seen as aggressive. And it's not fair to us. But I think that what we can do to help ourselves is to educate the people around us about the things that we're going through, communicate the symptoms. If you have a diagnosis of anxiety, or if you go through anything, you know, with a mental health issue, but it starts with communicating, right? And we have to learn how to better communicate. I don't feel like the soft life is easy at all. I feel like achieving the soft life is actually hard, because it comes with a lot of self-awareness, it comes with a lot of change, it comes with a lot of like getting to know yourself and your identity and things that you want, and behavioral changes and mindset changes and shifts. Like it's not easy at all, especially if you're somebody who is the, you know, type A strong Black woman type, and it's not something that you ever seen, it's not something that you ever thought that it was something that you could have, you know. Like you really have to do a whole lot of internal self-work to get to that place of ease and relaxation, and you know, just like chilling and taking care of yourself and doing a lot of the self-work. And doing a lot of the self-work is the self-care, right? And with the soft life and the ease and the luxury and the, you know, that whole lifestyle, it starts inside, and it requires a lot of work. A lot of work that I don't know that many are willing to do, you know? And going back to what I was talking about, stress and how stress impacts our body, also with that, the things that we eat causes stress on our bodies. Like when I realized that the things that I was eating was causing me to be constipated, it was causing me to break out, which was affecting my self-esteem. I was bloated, you know, gaining weight. So that's affecting my self-esteem, my you know, how I'm perceiving myself. So there's so much that goes into it. Like, and when you eat certain things that put stress on your body and on your organs, so it's like there's so much reworking and unlearning that we have to do to get to that lifestyle and that way of living that we truly say that we want to have. I do want to let y'all know, for the people who are, you know, aware of me going on this journey to heal my fibroids naturally, I am doing a 9-week detox boot camp, and we're going to be going through all of the chakras. We're going to be doing like a parasite detox cleanse. We're going to be doing all that. And I'm not a good vlogger. Like, I'm not a vlogger, I'm not good at it, but I'm going to try because I want to show y'all everything that I'm doing to heal my body. I got some videos that I've already done that I want to share with y'all about like juicing and like meditating and, you know, all of those things that we can do to de-stress, to get rid of all of that stress in our body. I mean, we're going to have stress in our lives, right? Like life itself is stressful, but there are ways and techniques that we can manage it. And I will say and be honest that I'm not good at managing my stress. My sleep schedule is horrible. Like really, my sleep schedule sucks. So I'm working on that. I'm being more active. I go for walks every day. I am getting back in the gym. Your girl is down 21 pounds. Okay. So, you know, y'all about to see me. Y'all about to see me. It's more than, you know, just looking good. You got to feel good. So I'm trying to get back into weightlifting. I want to start getting into yoga. I don't like yoga, but I'm going to be doing it. And I really think that we're going to be doing all of this in this boot camp. So for about 9 weeks, maybe No promises. I'm going to be sharing with y'all everything that I'm doing to heal my body and to stop being a strong, angry black woman. I'm not an angry black woman, but I am a strong black woman. You know, I am a strong black woman, but we don't have to be, you know. And it's not to say, you know, bringing it full circle. It's not to say that if you're not a strong black woman, that you're weak. It's just all the stereotypes that come with the strong black woman and all of the things that go into having a soft life and being a soft woman. You know, there are ways for you to obtain the things that you want in this life. You just got to know how to go get them. And that's, you know, leaning into your feminine energy and your femininity, you know, loving on you. That's what I'm trying to do more of. I'm trying to love on me more. Fully loving yourself. I really want for y'all to go and watch this other video and drop a comment in the comments and let me know if it made sense to y'all, and if this video cleared it up. Please let me know in the comments as well. I hope you have a beautiful day, whatever day it is for you when you're watching this. Hope that it's beautiful. Hope you have a beautiful rest of the year, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye.